I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's starting to bother me a lot more than it bothered me 5 minutes ago. Woo! Anyway, what is up, everybody? If I am lagging, please, please, please hit that like button or tell me in the comment box that it is lagging. I can't tell you. I don't know. I don't know, but what's up, everybody? This is the Never Knows podcast, and I'm still trying to get my mic right. You know what I mean? So, let's go. Let's go to work, man. Let's go to work. Anyway, so what's good, everybody? Never Knows podcast, Friday noon. I had put it out there that we going live noon. You feel me? And I made the deadline to be noon. I think about 12:03, but I'm nooned up. So it's all good. My dog ate my teeth. Don't tell nobody else that, but my dog ate my teeth. So, got a little small show put together for y'all though. You feel me? And if you like what you're seeing, make sure you share it with your friends and share it with everybody that you know. And hit the like if you ain't subscribed already. Hit the subscribe and look, hit the notification bell. That way you can get the notification. You know what I mean? Because if you don't get the notification, you'll never come. You'll never be able to catch me. Cause then I gotta send the link to you, and then I gotta look for you and all that other stuff. And I don't want to look for you. I don't want to look for you. But like I said, what is good? What is good? What is good? I'll turn it back that way. Anyway, so good little Saturday coming up. Got the cocktail party. You got some good games coming on. Alabama and LSU off. The top two teams in the nation going to be out this weekend. They're going to get to watch the SEC East. But we're going to tap into the cocktail party a little bit later on. But I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. The cocktail party will not decide who is going to the SEC championship from the East side. Anyway. I think at the beginning of the season, though, I get this one comment from a couple Auburn fans. Is it time to fire Gus Malzahn? And I always tell them no, because it's gonna set the program back 2 years. Well, this past weekend Auburn played LSU, and to me they had multiple chances to take that lead, win that game, and the play calling was subpar. Bo Nix, to me. Bo Nix showed his progression as a quarterback in the Florida game. You fast forward on up 2 weeks later in the LSU game. I mean, it's no progression. Now you done lost your backup quarterback to the transfer portal, and I still say if you fire Gus, you're going to set that program back 2 years. But I do think that the AD needs to come down. He also needs to step in and say, hey, Gus, I think you should give play calling duties to somebody else. And just because if we go back to 2010, where Gus was the offensive coordinator, they went 14-0. You can't put it. Gus got some big wins. Don't get me wrong. He got some big wins. The offense subpar, but he's beat Bama twice in his 6 years of being there as the head coach. He's knocked off Alabama twice. He's beat Georgia. He hasn't beat LSU. He took him to the national championship in 2017. Was that 2017? No, 2013. Yeah, 2013. He's got 2 West Division titles. He's got an SEC title. That's why I say, like, he's also 53-27. So firing him won't do much for the university. Taking play calling, taking the offense away from him. I mean, if he can oversee it, but take the offense away from him, but firing him will be just setting the program back two years or whatnot. You know, so I don't think firing Gus Malzahn is going to help Auburn with their problems. I mean, Joey Gatewood did enter the transfer portal. That situation can be, you know, it can be handled one way or another. You got Cody Sandberg. as the backup quarterback, and he's a baseball player, and that's what most quarterbacks in the league now are doing. I mean, they play baseball. Kyler Murray, baseball, even though he went to the NFL league. I mean, whatnot, but in a situation right now, Auburn doesn't have room. They don't have time to start over. Nick Saban's still winning. Jimbo Fisher just entered the SEC not too long ago, and once Kellen Mond gets out of that and all that stuff, Jimbo Fisher's gonna be one of the top teams in the SEC. You know, Jimbo Fisher and them, they gonna be one of the top teams in the SEC. You got Ed Oderon. You know, this a breakout year for LSU. You ask me. I mean, they get to this point just about every year. And the Alabama game is gonna really decide, is it time for Ed Oderon? Because I mean, Les Miles couldn't beat Nick Saban. So you got, like I said, for them to start over, bring somebody in that's gonna what? Give you a pro style like offense, and find an offensive coordinator that's with that, and I'm pretty sure you might keep the defense in, but then you got to start off now kids that you're bringing in for the 2020 class and the 2021 class. They know Gus. I mean, that's, you know, like, you can't just say, oh, he's subpar. Nah, his play calling is subpar, but firing him won't get you nowhere. Like I said, even though we say his play calling subpar in 2010, he was the offensive coordinator at Auburn. They were 14-0. Play calling I mean, the defense played its part, but you still got to move. The offense still going to score touchdowns. That's why I said, like, if you doing anything with Gus, you going to do anything with Gus, I said take the play calling from him. You got to step in and say, hey, man, what's up, Bean? How you doing out there, man? Shout out to everybody that coming through in the chat box, man. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, you know, hit the subscription button and drop a comment, a like. Follow us on Instagram, Neff_Gs28, for all the news and highlights. I mean, news and updates and stuff like that. But like I said, with the conversation of we're right here. Auburn's right here. And don't get me wrong, they've lost to two top teams in the SEC. They haven't lost out of conference. The SEC always has that one or two or three teams that, you know, that looks, but when it's time, he said, appreciate that. I appreciate that, my guy. When it's time for Auburn to perform against the mediocre teams, I mean, they right there. They right there. But like I said, it's more of, I take the play calling from Gus than just saying all the way around, let's get him out of there. $49 million. Yeah, I think somebody showed us, they dressed as Gus Malzahn, said $49 million wasted money and whatnot. Gus has done a lot of things for Auburn, and that's the guy that's next door to Nick Saban. So let's talk about, if you do fire Gus, what can you go after? Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer's been in the SEC. He's been a winner in the SEC. He also has beat Nick Saban in the SEC. But does Urban Meyer want to sit right next door to Nick Saban and say, I can compete with this guy year in and year out? Nah, dog. You want somebody with tough skin. Gus Miles, that's your guy. National championship, he's been there. He lost to him. He lost the game, but they were there. Has he developed a quarterback? Not so far, but Bo Nix is a true freshman, and I think that's what a lot of Auburn fans are like letting being misled. Like, Bo Nix ain't transferring. He top. I mean, what he did at Penn State, Alabama, 2 national titles on his dad and all that stuff like that. But he's still a true freshman. I mean, you got to think about, this is his first season smelling SEC grass. So you get out. You can expect some lows and some highs and all that good stuff like that. But most people just, you don't want to give Bo Nix the opportunity. You don't know what Joey Gatewood looked like with saying, oh, Joey Gatewood's our guy, we should have went with Joey. He would have been in the same situation Bo's in. True freshman, first season in some SEC football play, and he ain't smelt no SEC football grass. So, like, And then, like I said, they had to come to the Swamp and play at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock, something like that. That's gonna be loud. That's gonna be hard for any. I had to look back. Anyway, that's gonna be hard for any true freshman that doesn't know that environment, knows that situation. So, like I said, firing Gus won't cure all of Auburn's woes. Taking the play calling on offense from, I think that's a start. But Gus Malzahn is a good coach, and I stand on what I say. Firing him will set that program back 2 years, because whoever you bring in, they got to look down that barrel shotgun, and that shotgun is Nick Saban. And Nick Saban, you cannot go nowhere out the West unless you visit Tuscaloosa first. And you don't want to put no new coach into that situation, because after the first year in Alabama, walk the dog with him, blow him out, man. We got to get him up out of here, man. We should have kept Gus and blah, 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 blah. No, you can't think like that. You can't think like that, man. That's how I feel about the firing Gus Malzahn. Oh, but y'all tone it down a little bit, man, because right now you're really in a good situation. You can still play the New Year's Six Bowl. You still got Alabama at the end of the season. I can answer that for you. You still got. You still can get a New Year's Six Bowl. He said, "Do you believe?" Yo, War Eagle, my G, War Eagle. See, Matt, glad you pulled it up. Oh, Facebook working. I didn't even know that. My bad, Facebook. No, you had it popping like that. He says, do you believe Bo Nix starting over Gatewood was a talent or a booster in money, meddling and calling the shots? I think his daddy, his history with his dad and his background, I think they played a lot into it. And I think it's like a muscling situation over Malzahn. You know what I'm saying? Like you really put Malzahn in a situation where Gatewood was right here and, Nix was right here. But like you said, boosting all that other stuff, and we bring it, because Dad at every game, across the country. He had every game. Corey, I don't think you should fire the coach, man. That's out of bounds, bro. The firing the coach won't get, what can you get in firing the coach right now? Y'all still, Auburn is still in a situation where they can win. They can be in the New Year's Six Bowl. They still got the Iron Bowl. And 2 years ago when they knocked off Alabama and Georgia in the same year, Jarrett Stidham, he was conversation of a Heisman situation, but that year Auburn wasn't popping like that. They wasn't popping like that. Was 2 years ago. They weren't popping like that. They wasn't. They had it, riding the wave. That's as I subscribed it back in the day. That they was riding the wave. I don't think firing the coach now, 2 years later, is gonna solve. It's not gonna solve the problems, because you still gotta go walk into Tuscaloosa and play them. And nobody knows what Tua looks like right now. So you gotta wait a whole nother week to see that. But as far as it go by that, it was more of a conversation saying, we got to put Nix out there now. His daddy is pushing a lot towards that, and we go back to the spring game. They both look like true freshman quarterbacks. What in this point? What can you expect Bo Nix to? You can't expect Bo Nix to come out like Cam Newton and be a Cam Newton. Cam Newton was a transfer. He had already been playing 2 or 3 years before he got to Auburn, right? You can't expect Bo Nix to look like. Give me another quarterback that's a freshman. Justin Fields. Justin Fields was just in a bad situation with Georgia, but he went to Ohio State. Ain't no defense getting played in the Big 10, Big 12, 5-10, 14, whatever. Ain't no defense getting played over there. So, you're going to flourish. Right. He said finish the season. If we lose our bowl game, start looking for other candidates. I get that. the top name on the charts right now is Urban Meyer. And I don't think Urban's looking at it at a money standpoint because he got money. He's getting money from universities like a Florida, you know. He's getting a teaching check from Ohio State. He getting money from everywhere. He's gonna be at the game Saturday at the cocktail party. But would you really want an Urban Meyer to coach your team and say he's got to play Nick Saban one time a year and then can he win the SEC? Look at the names in the SEC: Jimbo Fisher, Dan Mullen, oh, Hugh Freeze. I had forgot all about the Freeze, man. I think I had left the Freeze guy alone. For real. So that comment from the YouTube says Urban going to Notre Dame, his dream school. Hugh Freeze coming to Auburn. Hugh Freeze in Auburn would be Hugh Freeze does have history with Nick Saban though, and he on the winning side of it too now, you know. So hey, can't really be mad about that part. But like I said, I finished the season honestly, and I think they finished the season kind of strong. That Iron Bowl is going to be pending on what Tua and how his health is. That Iron Bowl is going to be pretty good. He said, if you're a quarterback in the third and the interception, I'll put my second string quarterback in, no doubt. Indeed. But how many times have you seen Malzahn pull that trigger? How many times have you seen Malzahn say, okay, let me pull this boy up out of here and get in this thing? Okay, yeah. Indeed. How many times have you seen Malzahn pull that trigger and snatch a quarterback out of a game and put another quarterback in? How many times have you seen that? I think that like I'm gonna dive into that. I'm gonna get right to that comment, Brady. This is what I say. When it came to when Tebow was in Denver, and this just an analysis or whatnot. Tebow was in Denver, and I think the quarterback that was in front of him, I can't call his name, but at the point they was 1-4, and Elway and them had to make a decision. Okay, well let's put Tebow in and see what we can get out of it. I mean, we tank the season and get us a draft pick, whatever, blah blah. We need a quarterback, but Denver has always needed a quarterback. So, but he said one time when Jeremy Johnson was trash. First of all, he has seen it one play. Yeah, right. That's how they go. So when they put Tebow in, they caught the magic. Boom. They finished the season 8-8, won a division, went to the playoffs and won the first round and played New England, blah, blah, blah. Got beat to sleep. Thing is, when Bo Nix, true freshman, no doubt. Joey Gatewood, don't know if he's a true freshman or a regular freshman or a transfer, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But what difference do you think it'll be sticking? He said he pulled JJ out of the game. Right. No, it's 2. What difference would it been to put Joey Gatewood in the game? Like okay, cool. I see what you answer. So taking Bo out and putting Joe in, right? Here's my thing. Here's the thing. They're both true freshmen, right? They both was in the same situation in Death Valley, blah, 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 defense doing blah, blah, blah. That game was Auburn's to win, LSU's to lose. At the point of attack, your best option at that point, with the game being so close and then hanging in the balance, you just had to ride with Bo. Because Bo was either going to win it or lose it. And you can't fully pull it all on Bo. You got to put it on the play calling. Run the ball. You got a stable of running backs. I mean, all of them, they ain't no 1,000-yard running backs, but put them in the game. The run game was working to a point, but pulling Bo, you put Bo in a situation to where he only sees so much. if you would have pulled Bo at halftime, I would have seen that. But pulling Bo with the game in the balance, that would have just made it worse than what it was. Because Joey would have went out there, he might would have seen something different, maybe 2 or 3 plays, but it was gonna turn into the same thing it was. And 23-20 is a fair loss. You go back a year ago when Auburn was up on LSU 24-10 and end up losing the game. That's a different situation. But I understand. He said, you want somebody to go toe-to-toe with Nick Saban, look no further than Hugh Freeze and that credit card. Oh, yeah. They're going to have to throw if you're looking for candidates, Hugh Freeze will be one of them. You can call him in as the offensive coordinator. I just think you should either demote him to offensive coordinator or hire you a offensive coordinator, because Malzahn knows how to beat Nick, right? And that's the main conversation. Making the playoffs, right? Making the playoffs. I'm not even say going undefeated. Just making the playoffs, making a New Year's Six bowl, beating Alabama. That's what you get. Gus Malzahn is 53-27 in Auburn. It might be a little bit more than that. Big wins. He's beat Georgia. Exactly. And that's what Auburn's been known for, except for the year of Cam Newton. Auburn has always been known for his defense. Cam Newton made that team better because he knew how to produce the ball down the field. Cam Newton was also a transfer. Bo Nix is a true freshman. That's where the difference come in at. He ain't seen this. Next year, and I know it's gonna be hard for an Auburn fan to say, I can't wait the next year. I can feel that. But next year he might be better. If Gatewood's leaving that, like at the point of attack, you got to think about what's going on right now. Gatewood said, okay, I'm entering the transfer portal at the week 8 of the season. Why you waited so long? If that was the case, because Auburn beat Oregon, and a lot of people say, oh, we weren't supposed to win that game, but you won. A win is a win, no matter how you look at it, because the way the rankings are set right now, y'all was in the top 10? 3 weeks in a row. Beating team, and at that point of attack, it was Auburn is we about to go, we about to do this, and maybe 2 bad games from 2 bad games. And I'm not even saying the Florida game was a bad game. The crowd was loud and the defense was pumping. That was it. Anything you could take away from the Florida Auburn game, the crowd was loud and the defense was pumping. But Auburn played defense too, though. The defense has always been a part. The defense always has carried Auburn to wherever they have been, except for the year of Cam Newton. Cam Newton carried them to that championship because they were down in the SEC title game, end up winning that game. You know what I'm saying? End up beating Alabama with the, So like that's you got to be. Right now you're panicking. You're 6-2. You're panicking, and now you're looking at the Alabama game like. I mean, I can't even call it the remaining things on the schedule. But you're looking at the Alabama game like, oh my God, here we go. My bad. It's still hope. I think it's still hope. I do think you finish the season like you said, and look for candidates. But firing him would not cure the woes. That's going to set the program back 2 years. You don't want to go into next season with Bo Nix and not knowing who the head coach is, who the offensive coordinator is, and then he's got to learn a whole new offense. So that's going to put him back to true freshman mode again. So that's why I say like you really taking a chance with saying if we bring in another head coach, what is that going to do for Bo Nix? It's just going to continue. Every year you can't bring in somebody new and expect a 19-year-old kid to learn SEC football overnight. It don't work like that. It'll never work like that. Now, if he transfer out and he goes somewhere else and ball, then guess what? That's on y'all. That's on the fans because you calling for his head. I mean, let's be real about it. Whew. Y'all had me going just then, though. I like that. I'm not sure. Everybody else popped in there. I don't know. Hoo. My bad. Mm. Y'all had got quiet. I got quiet too. I don't blame you though. So let's talk. Running over notes. Let's talk top 8, top 10 right now. Playoffs and all the other good stuff. Bama LSU, and it's me to me. It's pretty early to be looking at that, but that game's gonna decide who's the West. And I think if either one, whichever one of them lose, they're not gonna drop far. I don't think they're dropping out of the top 5, and that's being real. Went out, and I still think if regardless, Bama and LSU will be in the top 2. So them last 2 spots will get filled by whoever. Penn State maybe, Clemson maybe. Ohio State and Penn State got a game coming up. Penn State also, go Gators. Penn State, Ohio State play late on in the season. Penn State and Minnesota play late on in the season. Ohio State and Minnesota play late on in the season. So that Big Ten championship game is going to be decided by either the number 3 team or the number. Appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love. It's going to be decided by either the East of the Penn State, Ohio State, and Minnesota. And that's pretty much how they go. Let's talk. I guess we got to go because they feeling the coming box over the Gator. I guess we got to talk Georgia. We got to talk cocktail party. It's time. I guess it's time to go ahead and pull that on in now. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I like that. It's cool. Georgia has beat us in. I'm gonna say us. That's how. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to put it out there. Georgia has beat us for the past 3 years with Jake Fromm. Jake Fromm's quarterback rating is in the 90 area against Florida. This guy knows what he's doing. Honestly, Georgia is at that point. At this point in the season, right now, the Felipe Franks going down, and I know you're not supposed to celebrate an injury, but the Felipe Franks injury really rejuvenated Florida. I know you're gonna hear a lot of that folks. Man, he ain't. Yeah, that's what it is. Kyle Trask has re-energized Florida, and they look like a Florida team from 2009. I'm not gonna say 06. I'm not gonna say 08. Them national championship teams. 2009 when they lost to Alabama in the SEC title game, and Tebow on the sideline crying. This Florida team looks just like, he said, a whole squad back. We super straight. I honestly feel Georgia will come out and they're gonna establish their run game. Don't get me wrong, Georgia has been able to run the football on Florida forever. They keep them backs down there. I feel though Swift will have a big game. He will have a big game. Maybe 26, 27 touches, 150 yards rushing. But with that being said, that's the only offense I see happening. Georgia receivers, I honestly feel that they are subpar. Jake Fromm is still an average quarterback. I think Florida's defense is at that point, is at that level now where it's okay, it's our time. Kyle Trask has he said they will not get 120 yards. Yeah, they will. They will definitely. This from a fan perspective, and I'm a Gator fan for life. From a fan perspective, I feel that the score will be 59-0. That's from a fan perspective, but from a analyst perspective, Georgia will have a good game on the ground. Passing, I'm not too sure about it because I think if our defensive line is healthy, we will get the Fromm more than often. I also feel that pending. I also feel that I got you. I'm gonna get that question. I also feel that Florida will have a big game through the air, and that's normally the offensive line not giving up them blocks like that. So Brady Jackson from YouTube, and y'all got to get like Brady, man. Brady be throwing them comments out there. I appreciate you, Mr. Jackson. The winner of the UGA Florida game is a playoff contender. I'm gonna give you my honest answer. No. And reason saying this, Georgia has not looked like Georgia when Kirby Smart walked in the door. When Kirby Smart the next year after that, Georgia has looked like a Georgia team that is rebuilding. I don't say rebuilding, retooling. You got a lot of freshmen, sophomores across the board that has the experience but doesn't have the notification of I'm a go-to player. I know that. You know, he ain't got that oh my God, they looking towards me. He can't throw it over there. They don't have a player on that team. Swift is a good running back, but I also think Swift has played against some subpar defenses, and that's when he gets off. I mean, in the Kentucky game, Georgia didn't score a point until 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Kentucky, honestly, with their quarterback, could have beat Georgia maybe 48-0. Georgia couldn't move the football. I mean, it was raining, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you set up for this. This college football. Rain ain't just start happening this year. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame it on the rain because the South Carolina game, it was a little muggy and stuff like that. But Georgia never got out of the gate in that South Carolina game. They never woke up. By the time they woke up, the little guy with the glass, the field goal kicker was missing the field goal to win. Missing the field goal to tie the game up. So Georgia, to me, this year, no, they're not a contender. Florida, what holds Florida back from being a playoff contender? Play calling. They can't run the football, and play calling in clutch moments of the game, it's ugly. It's subpar. Like, I honestly say we'll just say Florida wins the SEC title game, I still wouldn't put them in the playoffs because, they have in a shootout with LSU, when no defense getting played in that game at all, and it was also some missed calls in that game, but you can't blame it on the referees because the only thing they're going to say is my bad, and we're moving on from that. I'd put them at the 5, maybe. If it ended and they won the SEC title game, depending who they beat. If they come back and beat LSU, can you really say LSU got to a point where they beat Bama? They won out. So they beat LSU in the SEC title game, right? And you say, okay, well, we got to decide where we're going to put Florida at in this. Where would you really stick them? Would you put them at 5? But you can't leave. I know you can't leave the SEC champion out, but they haven't established a play calling game. I just think the play calling is subpar. You run plays to win the game, and if you got the game in the lock mode, the defense carries them. You know what I'm saying? And LSU exposed that. If the defensive line ain't getting to the quarterback, right. If the defensive line can't get to the quarterback, honestly, the defense they not making no plays in the secondary. But if like he said, if LSU beats Bama and Florida gets their revenge win in Atlanta over them, you can't leave them out. Yeah, but you can't leave them out, but you can't leave LSU out either. And I'm pretty sure this committee's not finna stick to SEC teams at 3 and 4 or 2 and 3, right? We know from this point, Clemson wins out, they'll be there. But LSU, Bama, Florida, Penn State, Ohio State, right? Penn State and Ohio State got to play each other. Penn State also has to play Minnesota. And then they still got to win the Big Ten championship, right? So it's a whole lot that's going to play into that. But far as it go by saying Florida at a number 4 spot that's about the biggest 4 or 5. And I know if they win the SEC title game, you got to put them in there. But as it depends on what's in there. Because whoever they play at 1, it's going to be a matchup. If they play Clemson at 1, I feel Florida can beat Clemson. But can they really compete with Ohio State? Can they compete with a Penn State? Can they compete with an Alabama team? Can they compete like top 10 right now? Florida has played top 10 matchups, and they're gonna play a top 10 matchup this weekend. I feel 4, man. 4, maybe 3. No higher than that. They won't be like the number 2 team in the country. Like they have to really dominate LSU. And to be honest, we played LSU and the score was 42-28. And that happened late. It was 28-28 for a little while. So I honestly feel like Dan Mullen play calling. In order for Florida to get back to that, I can be that elite team, Dan Mullen play calling has to get better ASAP. And he cannot be afraid to put Emory Jones in the game and let him run the offense because you got 2 quarterbacks that can play the game. Emory Jones in the Auburn game when I think that was what's that? Yeah, that's the Auburn game. When Kyle Trask went out with the little knee injury, Emory Jones came in and he flourished. And they got 3 points out of when he was on the field and I think in the LSU game when it was time to put him in the game, because that was, I felt like Dan Mullen led us to seeing the Tebow leak situation. And when Tebow really got his chance to play in that situation, it was against LSU. Tebow threw 2 touchdowns that game. That's when the jump pass was brought out. Like, oh my God, he got another pass. Yeah, that right there. And I think he had a rushing touchdown too. When it was time, when you put Emory Jones in the game, you give the defense and the opposing team the conversation of saying, oh, they finna just run it with him. And that's exactly what he did. 3 straight plays, ran. And you didn't get a first down out of it. But then it's 2 straight plays, and then you stick Kyle Trask in there at 3rd and long, and Del Valle jumping, and it's a tight game and all that other stuff. You put the game on the line. I think this win here, I mean, this game Saturday, this is his big game. This is the biggest game of his tenure here at Florida right now. This is his big game. You got to beat Georgia. There's no, we'll get them next year. You got to, with this team right now, with those seniors wrapped around that team like it is, and they're honestly, to me, even though LSU beat Florida, I still feel Florida is top 2 best team in the SEC. I can't give you number 1 because they haven't played yet. And their schedule's not, whatever. But, if I lost y'all, tell me. I don't know what just happened just then. Did I just lose y'all? Yeah, I think I did. Oh, it crashed out. There's some shit. Wait a minute. Oh, and it just died. Shout out to it. Wow. Mm. fucking serious? Not sure what happened, but it happened. Are we still recording? Not sure. And that's to call it the crash game. Mm, 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 mm. Oh my God. If I'm up, y'all gotta tell me I'm up because I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. Phone so trash. Godly. Am I up, y'all? He said, yeah, you still alive. Cool, cool, cool. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It had crashed. I promise you it did. You say I'm up though? Like, tell me when you see my two fingers. Yo, yo. You say I'm up? Okay. I think it's up. They said Facebook still live too. See, and that's crazy. But I bet. Cool, cool. Appreciate it. Yeah. And that's how that goes. And that's why it's Never Knows Live, baby. You did. I appreciate everybody, man, for sticking around, man. It just crashed, just out of there. But I think I was saying about. I'm gonna read this comment because it didn't pop up. Appreciate that, Christian. Appreciate that. He said LSU Bama got the edge over Florida. Georgia and Florida have to show me more. Yeah, indeed. He said, how would the best two pass? Rick James, to be honest, when you say the best pass rusher, after the pass rushers, what you got? I mean, C.J. Henderson, don't get me wrong, since Marco Wilson's been back, is a lot of questions on his cover abilities. C.J. Henderson is a dog. He's first round draft pick to the Jaguars. Let me remember I said that. We don't need Jalen Ram no more. We gonna get CJ. Anyway, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just don't know. Georgia, Florida got to show me more. Okay, so Christian, in that same situation, what it is that Florida has to show you, because Florida beat Auburn and they was in a shootout with LSU, right? I think my topic of that situation was my topic of that situation was more like I agree with you really. The play calling from Florida has to be right there. You know what I'm saying? And the Georgia, I just don't feel Georgia. This year's Georgia team, it's a lot of freshmen that run that team. And Jake Fromm is still an average quarterback. He just make good plays when the run game is going. But like I said, when they playing Kentucky in the rain or whatever, flipping the blah, 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 when they was playing Kentucky, they didn't score a point until 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. And Kentucky's defense is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, Bob Stu has done great things with that program. Great things. But Kentucky never threw the football. The quarterback was the wide receiver. And you go toe-to-toe with Kentucky goes toe-to-toe with you with no quarterback at all? I don't feel Georgia really can beat an Alabama team right now. I mean, that they can't beat an LSU team. I don't think they can beat Auburn. That's just how I feel about that. Shout out to my subs, man, and my people in there. Y'all really say like that, cause I swear it just crashed. But ain't hard grabbing that's from right now, cause I can't even get to the YouTube comments. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Okay, cool. Right. So I think I'm gonna end it with this little subject. I ain't gonna touch on it much. because it's still in the play. I feel if we pay the players to play, if they're getting some type of compensation for playing and their likeness and I mean that does a lot for the fandom. You know what I'm saying? Of the college football. Because, I mean, eventually they're going to bring the college football game back, and that's what everybody's been waiting on. Oh, my God, we need the college football game, blah, blah, blah. But if we are going to pay the players, right, the transfer portal needs to end. You got to think about it. If you're making this amount of money here, but you're not getting the play time or whatnot, but you want to go over here to where they giving out a little bit more money, but you got to fight for playtime. Something of that situation has to end because you already are taking the game away from. You're taking the game away. Okay, he said pay all collegiate. Yeah, I feel it. I feel it. You're also going to take the game away from college football. College football would be in 2 years. We'll just say they start paying them 2020, right? And everybody's getting paid. You're gonna take the game away. You're gonna take the game. It'll be like the NFL. Whether it's be more about the money. I know I don't feel like you should pay all of them because that's a lot of money to throw out. College football is a hot thing in the South. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than the NFL, right? But we don't put enough college football. Like ACC just got their own network, and you got to have a subscription to have their network or whatnot. You got to include that in your package, so that's more money, right? I think the Big Ten has a network like the SEC network. It comes with your little sports package or whatnot because they was the first ones with it or whatnot. I don't think you should pay all of them, but I'm not gonna sit on your bench on your second, third string. And not receive some type of compensation. Like, you're gonna take away from the game if you pay if you're paying college boys to play. You're paying them to go to your school. Like, what's the point of giving them a scholarship? Would it be the point of them working hard to get to the next level? You know, because some kids are not gonna make it to the next level. So whatever money you make in college is. Whatever money you make in college is just gonna be the money that you make in college, and then you got to go out and find a real job. So what you gonna do? He said, pay for home games only. I don't want them to pay them at all. Whatever's going on up under the table, let it keep going. Because if you pay them, if you pay college players, bro, and this is my honest opinion, you pay them, you're gonna set the NCAA back because now you got to go and look at how kids are being brought in and stuff like that. And we know some kids are gonna get more than other kids, but how fair is that to the fourth string quarterback who may not never see the field? And he just transferring from school to school to school to school trying to get to the next level. Chase Daniels, right? At Vandy. Yeah, like work study in college, right? You know. Like what are you teaching them when you say, okay, when you say we're gonna give you this amount of money, blah, 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 blah. If you're gonna give them something, I mean, pay for their books, you know, pay for parking or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a curse, but pay for, you know what I'm saying? Pay for their meals or something like that. But you're talking about handing them a check to play? No, man, that's crazy. Some kids in college right now, like, I mean, I don't want to put nobody on the front street, but driving Dodge Chargers with the Hemis and stuff, you know, that's a $40,000 car, man. I can afford that on the tuition. Come on, man. I don't feel if you pay players now, you're gonna take the NCAA, and it might be the most watched, but after a while, what are you gaining from it? Because this kid might collect that check for how much ever money, you feel me, play 1 year, then go to the league and then make more money. I ain't knocking nobody on them making the money and all that other stuff, but you get them a scholarship to go to school, get an education, get a degree. Now you want to pay them to step out on the football field? I think that's just a little out. That's my opinion. I think it's out of bounds. I don't feel They should be collecting a check to play football. That's at the next level. They're not gonna work hard. You're not gonna get that same work hard mentality if you pay them to play football or play basketball. You're not gonna get that same, oh my God, we right here, we can do it from here. Now I don't feel like you'll get that now, especially if you're saying, I mean, whatever they doing in California, that was cool. Whatever, right? Weed's legal in California. Everything is damn near legal in California, except for carrying a gun. So, but it's still gonna happen, right? So that's my thing, man. And I think that's the way I'm gonna end my show. I don't feel we should pay college players to play no football, basketball. College athletes should not be getting paid to play the sport that they are in there to play. You go to school to learn, work hard, get an education, graduate, make it to the next level or whatever you're trying to make it to. Then you get paid. If that's the case, I'm just sending everybody to college. Everybody got to turn around and go to college and play some football or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. That's out of bounds. I just feel like that's out of bounds. And I'm pretty sure most people will say, hey, you might be out of bounds. Well, I mean, it be like that. But think about the kid that had the dream to play college football and he never got that opportunity because his family didn't have the money to go to send him to college. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go to a community college and make a name for himself. Well, his situation has took a left turn because you never know what happens in anybody's lifeline. Kids, and I don't feel that you should pay a kid to play the sport that they choose to play in college. That's my opinion. But that's how I'm in my show, though, man. I don't want to get emotional about it. Hey, man, like I said, Nephew TV, live on YouTube. If you ain't subscribed on YouTube, hit the YouTube button. It's the first time that the Facebook done worked in 2 weeks, so I'm not sure how that took place, but it crashed earlier. Live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live, Neff G's channel. Whenever we can book G's for a show, we'll get him in here, but this how it's rocking right now. Shout out to everybody that stayed, even though the shutdown game, I had panicked myself and looking at the screen like, damn, what the hell am I doing now? But I'm going to tell y'all, as of right now, shirts, I got shirts. I'm starting to take hoodie, shirt orders, whatever you really want, for real. I got a 2A jumpsuit, sweatpants suit coming fitted drop, so it's crazy. But anyway, sweatsuits, and you gotta hit me in my inbox and let me know what you want, and we'll get it put together for you though. But hoodies right now, $25. Sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, blah blah blah. They like $15. T-shirts $10. Not sure about the sweatpant part yet. I haven't still played around with it, but everything you see, man, is built from the ground up, and I ain't gonna never ask y'all for a dime, man. But if you want to give. You know what? You know the Cash App, $2. If you want to give. You don't, that's cool. Feel me? I never ask you for a dime. But this is my show. I appreciate everybody who come through, salute, and hang out with me to the time up or whatnot. And I'm Neff, and this is the Neff Knows Podcast. Y'all be safe, man. Be coolio. Appreciate it. You ain't gotta go, but you gotta get the hell up out of here.